Hello everyone, it's Corvette Dan. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a C5 tech video. So smash that thumbs up, click the notification bell, and stay tuned. Okay, topic of today's video is we're going to be removing and replacing the radiator. I got a small leak on the top on one of the side tanks over there on the passenger side, so we're going to get this thing out. So stay tuned. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove this air bridge, right? And you'll have a couple of clamps here. Potentially you've got this. This is just a clip that pops out. You're going to remove that clamp over there, and this is going to come out. And depending on the type of air bridge you have, the stock one is secured to this. You'll just pop it up. We'll show that here in a minute. All right, with that, I also want to mention you want to remove the connector for the mass airflow sensor, and it usually clips into this hole here, and we just unclip that. You can just put that to the side. Also worth noting, you're going to want to plug the holes down here. I'm leaving my VariRam. It can stay there. Just make sure nothing gets inside. So with that, let's go ahead and do that. Maybe I'll just take this off and check the air filter while I'm at it too. And it's a good thing we took off the box for the VariRam because the filter is quite a dirty mess. We'll be cleaning that up too. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to want to take off our top radiator support here. There's 4 bolts, 2 on this side and 2 on that side. We'll show that here in a second. You're going to want to back those out with a 10mm socket. They are 10mm, and there's 4 of them. They're not too hard to get at, really. So once you have that out, we'll show what it looks like when this thing is removed. Okay, that's what it looks like with that piece removed. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start disconnecting things from the radiator. I think we're going to drain it first. There's a couple of lines that we're going to have to remove, but I'm going to jack it up so I get a better grasp at the radiator drain plug, if you will. If I can't get a good video of it, I'll at least reference it on the new radiator so you see what it looks like and what to expect. So stay tuned. Okay, so here we have the radiator. I was going to reference where you're going to drain it from in case I can't show it underneath the car, but it's going to be on the passenger side on the bottom. You're going to see, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's where you're going to drain it from, and make sure you drain it into a container, obviously, and dispose of the coolant properly, and certainly keep it away from pets and other small animals. In fact, keep it away from anyone. No one needs to consume antifreeze here. And considering what you're going to be doing, you may want to consider the lower radiator hose, various tensioners while you're in there, but that's completely up to you. A belt even, serpentine belt, whatnot. So let's try to get underneath there and get a view of draining the radiator. Okay, everybody, that is the drain plug to remove it. And believe it or not, what that is, it's a square hole and a 1/4-inch drive fits into it. So you're going to want to counterclockwise that out. I'm not going to be able to video and show you this, but that is what it looks like in the original radiator here. So let's get this loosened and I'll show when it's draining. Okay, so right now that's where it's draining from, as you can see. I think it's designed that way. We'll try to look at the stock of the new radiator to show that. But right now I got it draining. I'm going to open up a little more, but I just wanted to show you that. Hopefully you can see this okay in this video. But we're going to let this thing drain. Okay, once you get the radiator draining, you're going to want to start to remove other things. I'm going to start with the lower hose here, as you can see on the light. We're going to just unloosen that, back off that clamp and get it off. Okay, I got the lower hose off. I got the hose pointing down into the antifreeze container. Now we're going to work on removing these 2 right here. For reference, it's these 2 connections right here we're going to remove. Be mindful you're going to get antifreeze coming out when you do that. All right? Next, we're going to go after the upper radiator hose here. You're going to pull that clamp back and remove the hose. And there we have the upper radiator hose removed and pulled back. You may want to consider changing it at this time. Next, we're going to want to go for that top fitting for the trans cooler here, right? And there's one at the bottom too. I don't know if we'll show that, but I can show that on the new radiator. To reference, this is the top. That's the bottom for the trans cooler. Okay, this is where radiator fluid drains out of. Anyway, this is where the lower hose connects. Over there, that's where the upper hose connects. Okay. Using a 16mm line wrench, we were able to remove it, and we tucked it out of the way there. Let's try to get the bottom one and view that if we can. Okay, this is the other connection. It's a 16mm. We're going to use a line wrench, and this is the lower radiator hose connector. I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm going to try to remove it. Maybe I'll even try to fish it out with the radiator lower hose connected. I'm not sure yet, but these are the last two I have to disconnect, so let's do that now. Alright, with that lower trans line disconnected, you'll get a few ounces of trans fluid coming out of the radiator, but we're going to attempt to remove the radiator with the lower hose in it. I'm having a hard time getting at that clamp. We'll see. I'm going to reference the new radiator to kind of show you what you need to do, because you do not need to remove the fans or the condenser, but you need to do something. I'll show that in here in a second. Alright, here's the new radiator, and I'm going to reference these clips here, right? You got one here, you got one here, and you got two on the other side. Basically, your fans and condenser, and they're on both sides, clip into these 4 points. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to lift up, and it just slides down in. They just slide down in on both sides here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show that or not, but you're going to kind of, you got the fan here, and it's going to slide up this way, and same thing with the condenser on the other side. Not too far, obviously, they're not connected, too far deep, but I'm trying to reference that. But that's what we need to do. Let's see if we can't get that done now. Okay, now, right here, this is a point where we have to lift up to get the condenser loose. And I just wanted to kind of see if I can show that, how it will come up by giving a good yank. Of course, I can't do it with two hands, but let me see if I can't show it after it's done. Now, I'm hoping you can see that it is unslotted from the radiator, right? Okay, so with that, we're going to try to fish the radiator out. I know this can be done, so that's what we're going to do next. Alright, as it turns out, I needed to remove the lower radiator hose. It was just impeding removing the radiator. And there it is, pictured next to the new one. Considering its location and how hard it is to get to, I figure now is the time to replace it. So now let's see if we can get this radiator slid out of here. Alright, I managed to wiggle the radiator out. There's really no words to describe how you're going to kind of have to wiggle through things and check to see what's binding. Sometimes the radiator fans or condenser will reattach to the clip points. It can be a pain. I'd strongly recommend a set of hands on both sides. However, I did it by myself, right? So now we're going to put everything back together after I take a quick 10-minute break here. Let's go show the old radiator out of the car. And there we have it. Looks to be a match to the new radiator. So with that, we're going to put this back together. We're going to show some of the highlights of that too, so you know what you're up against. But I honestly think this has got to be the harder part here. So stay tuned, folks. At this point, we are going to reverse by installing the radiator. Here are the clip points. As mentioned, you got to slot the fans and the condenser on both sides. Upper radiator hose, lower trans, lower radiator hose, drain for the coolant, upper trans, the two hoses there. As we can see, It's a matching radiator. It's a stock radiator from Rock Auto. I bought it because that car's probably 50 horse over, and that radiator held up just fine. We don't need any additional cooling at this point, so let's get this radiator mounted first, and then we're going to start reconnecting everything. Okay, everybody. Here is the trans line reconnected, right? And the lower radiator hose. Couldn't really video it. I'm by myself doing it, but I used a worm clamp. I feel more confident in it, easier to get out. And make sure when you put the trans line in, you get the flare in to the cone flush, right? In fact, I did it twice just to make sure it was right. So I'm confident that that's all hooked up. So now we're going to go to the top and reconnect the remaining few pieces we have and get this thing running again. I'm excited. The hard part is over. I recommend when you pull that radiator out, you maybe get a second set of hands, but I managed to get this thing slid up by myself. Another thing you're going to want to look at is get down here and make sure the clips, you can't see them here, but that it's, make sure that the fans and the condenser are clipped on the bottom as well as the top. You're going to have to do a couple attempts, I think, because I did, but I got it all clipped in. So that's something you want to make sure you take a look at when you're underneath there. Okay? All right, let's get finished up on this job here. All right, back up top here. We're going to want to reconnect the upper radiator hose. The lower radiator hose, the upper side of it, into the water pump there. And then these two coolant lines. From there, the upper hose, upper trans, and then we're going to button this thing back up. Okay, here we have upper radiator hose connected. Those two lines, trans line in there, as you can see. Upper radiator hose. All right. Next, we're going to go ahead, and I believe at this point, we're going to put the cover on it, make sure everything is clipped in the way it's supposed to be, and wrap this thing up. Now that we got the upper radiator shroud, if you will, on, cover, bracket, hull down, we're going to attempt to install our intake system again. This may vary for you depending on the intake system you have. I have a Veraram, and if you know about those, they can be a PITA. This shouldn't be too bad. Just wedging in the bridge is going to be the challenge, but we'll show that when it's buttoned back up. From there, you're going to fill it up, run it, bleed it, and you'll be done. Stay tuned. So there we have it. Everything's buttoned back up. Got the Veraram put together. We pulled out about 2 gallons of coolant, and that's what we put back in. Right now I'm running it. I'm trying to bleed the air out of it. You could comment on your own preferred way of doing that, but this is how I'm doing it. So anyway, that concludes remove and replace the radiator on a C5 Corvette. This should apply 97 to 2004. Obviously, if you have a manual, you won't have a transcooler. That just makes it a little bit easier. Please smash the thumbs up. Click the notification bell. Until the next one, this is Corvette Dan. Thank you very much.